I wanted to make a video and share something that happened to me today. Uh, it wasn't one of my best moments, for sure, where I wasn't shining. Uh, I was interacting with uh, my ex, my son's father, and we were discussing, certain topics about uh, how when you go to public school, you are being indoctrinated. So that's why we chose to homeschool our son. He's 7. And some of the things that my ex-husband talks about or teaches our son is lies, stuff like with NASA and outer space and different things that I've sent him videos to show that I don't know if it's proof, because obviously I've never been in a rocket ship and gone to outer space to say that there is no such thing as outer space, but there are a lot of different theories and video proof of watching people who are so-called astronauts, uh, where there was supposedly in orbit or in space, and you could clearly see that they were hanging on cables when they were supposed to be floating, because there were video bloopers, if you want to call them, and a lot of green screen. So we got into a heated discussion, and I could say that today I had a spiritual attack, because as we were having this conversation, this overwhelming flow of anger came over me, and I'm not a very angry person. When you have the Holy Spirit, you have a lot of patience, more so than I definitely used to. I'm not very flip, or I tend to be more thoughtful before I respond, because I don't want to mislead anyone, or I don't want to lie about anything. So I'm very conscious about how I usually respond. But regardless of whether or not it was a spiritual attack upon me today, I failed. I failed on many different levels, actually. I failed because of how I let the anger and my emotions take over. I had said things to him that I regretted shortly after, which I apologized to him before I left today. And he accepted my apology, because my ex and I, we get along pretty well for two people who are divorced, who are raising a 7-year-old together. So yes, when I say I failed on many different levels, I also failed my ex. Excuse me, I'm like burping all over the place. It's probably the third or fourth video where I'm just burping while I'm recording because I don't edit my videos. Yeah, and I'm talking about something so serious, and I'm explaining that I have gas. It's weird. So I failed my ex because I acted so irrationally. And I didn't get all crazy. I just got emotional, loud, quick-tempered. It wasn't anything too outrageous or anything, but it was the point. It was enough to push him further away from the truth. Like I could tell that I wasn't making any headway or anything. And because I got emotional and, in a sense, exploded at him, and it was very brief, it wasn't very long or anything, that I may have ruined any chance of him taking me seriously about the topic of Jesus Christ or anything that pertains to false doctrines, etc. So yes, I drove away and I cried most of the way home. Because I know that the seriousness that it's life or death. And when I say that, it's your soul is eternal. So you are either going to live eternally with Jesus Christ, or you are going to suffer eternally in hell. Your energy does not go away. It continues on. Your energy is your soul or your essence, or however you want to view it. It's all semantics. It's all the same. So yes, so I felt a great loss today because I lost my temper. And so I'm doing this video as a lesson of what not to do. That when you are trying to get others to hear the truth, it is always very important to show nothing but love and patience. And that's not what I did today. Even though I was quick to apologize and he very much accepted my apology, you can forgive somebody, but they're not going to forget how you reacted towards them. So I'm using this video as a moment to learn something, that even though you feel an urgency in it's important to you to get the truth to somebody, if they're not ready to hear it, they are not going to hear it, no matter how emotional or how important that you express what you are telling them. So, yes, today I took it as a huge lesson learned, and hopefully my ex thinks about the good things about the conversation and does not focus on the negative aspects of it. But there is power in prayer, which I pray for him every single day. And I'm going to ask whoever's watching this if you could please pray for my ex Adam, that I just want him to know the truth. I just want him to be free of this system, this slave system. And I don't want him to indoctrinate our son with lies anymore. And, I know that I have to be wise about what things that I find important and what things that I should just let go, because it's not important to argue about different things. So hopefully this video helps at least one person. I don't take what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not a fan of putting my life out there. Fan's not a good word. I don't really know. I'm doing this video on the fly. I just don't like putting my personal life out there, but if this helps at least one person to think about how to interact with people with love and patience versus arguing with them, that it's more important to pray for others, that there is power in prayer. And when somebody has eyes to see and ears to hear, and if they do not, it doesn't matter how much you plead to them or cry to them or care. If they're not ready to hear it, they're not ready. So I ask that you pray for Adam, that he has an urgency in his heart to seek the truth, and that he opens up his life to Jesus Christ. So I would greatly appreciate that very much. So thank you, and I hope you have a great evening.